Hello, people in Video Land. Just to let you know that I got my audience here, my mother. Say hello, Mom.
Hello.
And my brother, Benny.
Hello.
My sister-in-law, Barbara Ann.
Hi.
Okay, that's 3 different people there. And I'll get the show started now. Gunshot rings on Dad's favorite TV show. Mom's in the kitchen making dinner for the family, and the kids are playing in the other room. A typical normal day for most families. But unbeknownst to them, that family are being affected by what's on that television show. This discussion is on how people can be negatively affected by constant violence on TV shows.
That's right.
And everyone who watches television, watch YouTube, Facebook, all have access to some sort of visuals, which oftentimes contain some form of violence or negative influence. I can personally relate to this as a child. We would watch TV shows like the Gunsmoke, Beretta, the Mod Squad. We loved watching that, and even some cartoons like Spider-Man was too much for me to bear. However, today is a much different scene, especially for the children of this generation. Now, in this discussion, I'm going to talk about 3 different things here. It's going to be first, how violent television can affect us as adults, how television shows and other visuals can affect our children, and how we can show responsibility when we are using social media, Facebook and YouTube. Now, to begin our discussion, I would first want to talk about the adults and how they are adversely affected by this. Now, as reported in the journal Science, according to a 70-year study, adolescents who view an hour or more of television daily are more likely to commit violent or aggressive acts. Additionally, the study shows that these adolescents who watch up to 3 hours of TV per day are nearly 4 times more likely to commit violent and aggressive acts later on as adults, as compared to those who view less than an hour of TV daily. That's a serious difference. Now, we notice that a researcher named George Comstock, a researcher on violence in the media from Syracuse University in New York, stated that this gives strong evidence as to the harmful effects that come from watching too much television. Even girls show an increase in violent behavior, according to social scientists and psychologists. So there is solid evidence, according to experts, that years of study, that TV does have a powerful impact on behavior in adults. So now let's talk about the children. According to a report from the Surgeon General's Scientific Advisory Committee on Television and Social Behavior and National Institute of Mental Health, the 15-year study on harmful television shows that children are affected by 3 ways. 1, they're becoming more in fear of the world they live in.
That's right.
Becoming insensitive to the suffering and pain of others. And they are more likely to act violently and harmfully aggressive toward others. Now, how many times have we seen bullying from other children? At times there are multiple kids beating up on one child. Even at home, there are children physically assaulting their parents, and they lose respect for that authority.
Yes, they do.
According to MedicineNet.com, 28% of children from the 6th to 12th grade were victims of bullying. And so we can see the impact of that. And also, even more serious, how many times are we going to see mass shootings of children on school grounds, of innocent children, innocent teachers are getting killed?
Yes.
And according to, in the discussion between the video games and mass shootings, according to NBC.com, there is a controversy between psychologists who say that violent gore video games are not the cause in the rise of the shooting violence that we see. As they say, they can find no relationship. That is ridiculous to me. I personally think that we are sadly mistaken if we believe that hours of watching violent television and gore video games will not have a negative effect on us, we are sadly mistaken on that. The numbers really don't lie, as we see an increase of violence in our children.
Yes, we do.
Another area I'd like to mention is social media. Now, many of us on Facebook, we enjoy Facebook, our YouTube, and many other medias. And there's nothing wrong with it if we use it properly and responsibly. Now, as responsible people, we want to ensure not to engage in hurtful gossip and not use it as a weapon to hurt someone else.
That's right.
And so this is often the beginning stages of violence. And according to the journal The Washington Post, a 12-year-old girl committed suicide due to cyberbullying. Now, the child received taunts. She received in her Snapchats, Instagram posts, and text messages, until one day her depression was just too much to bear, and she took her own life.
My God.
And that's very sad for a 12-year-old child. So this is another area. Parents, we want to be very careful and aware about what's going on with our children, particularly when they're on these visual devices. Now, that is not to say we can't enjoy television, we can't enjoy it out social media, Facebook, YouTube, and things like that. We just got to be wise. We just got to be careful. So in conclusion, I'm looking at the known documented evidence on the negative effects of violent TV and visual, what they have on adults, as well as the evidence that shows the evidence upon children. And also the danger that exists in social media. Should we as parents take action in our home to guide and protect our children? Or do we allow others to dictate the proper way in which we and our children should see positive images in our society?